Amber Heard yells at her own lawyer while testifying. A major question that has been asked about Depp during the various allegations levied against him by Amber Heard is that of did others notice this behavior? And that is something that has been talked about at length in the current defamation trial, because many witnesses have come forward and said while the two did argue a lot, they never saw Depp physically hurt Amber. To counter this, Heard's defense team has been trying to showcase how Depp's connections hurt all too well. What Depp wanted to do to Heard? How did that go? Well, in this video, we'll shed some more light on the current Depp-Heard case. Paul Bettany friendship. It's hard to comprehend this, but Amber Heard envied the instant connection Depp had with his friend, actor Paul Bettany, and saw him as a threat to their relationship. Depp testified in his defamation trial, and according to Depp, his ex-wife acted aggressively if Depp showed the WandaVision actor too much attention. Miss Heard despised Mr. Bettany because we had become such close friends, Depp said. For her, he was a threat and would take me away from her. If Paul Bettany getting the attention from me, that was a showstopper, he continued. It would cause all kinds of unpleasantries. Depp said he met Bettany on the set of their 2010 movie, The Tourist, and became fast friends. Text messages between them were entered into evidence in the trial, and at an earlier one in the UK against a British tabloid that sided with Heard for a case that Depp lost. In the text messages, Depp talked about consuming copious amounts of drugs and alcohol. The two also exchanged messages about drowning and burning Amber. Let's drown her before we burn her. I will have her burn corpse afterward to make sure she's dead, Depp wrote in one text message. Bettany has said the disclosures of the messages were embarrassing and without context. Lawyers for Depp have argued that they were joking references to Monty Python. Depp testified last week that the two actors bonded over Monty Python and dry British humor. That was one of the things we connected on, Depp said. Even if it was an unpleasant situation, we would do our best to deal with it with humor as opposed to a constant complaint or whining. But the relationship between Heard and Bettany, Depp testified, was abominable. Depp recounted an episode where he and Heard were vacationing with Bettany, his wife actress Jennifer Connelly, and 4 children on an island. Bettany and Heard were debating an issue, and Heard became quite rude and mean and talked over Bettany. According to Depp, at some point Bettany's 18-year-old stepson entered the conversation. Depp said Miss Heard demeaned that young man to the point where he burst into tears and walked away. Depp said, not exactly the kindness of people based on that. Wouldn't you say? Bettany has been very supportive of Depp, and that likely isn't going to change after this, but Depp can take heart in how others have supported him too. Penelope Cruz. Penelope Cruz is someone who has been a friend to Johnny for some time and has made multiple movies with him, and when asked to go and testify to his character, she did so happily. Many years have passed and I have not only made 3 movies with him, but I also count on him as a great friend. I've always been impressed by his kindness, his brilliant mind, his talent, and his peculiar sense of humor. Cruz also went into detail about how Johnny treated her during her pregnancy with her first child. During 6 months of my first pregnancy, Cruz wrote, I spent every single day with him while we shot Pirates of the Caribbean. My husband and I will never forget the sweetness, protection, and kindness he treated me with during every step of that process. Depp has stated many times that he's never physically hurt a woman, and her testimony does seem to lend viability to that fact, especially when you add into other testimonies. Winona Ryder. You might know Winona Ryder from Stranger Things, but back in the 90s, she was famous for other movies. During that time, she also dated Johnny and had positive things to say about him. From my experience, which was so wildly different, I was absolutely shocked, confused, and upset when I heard the accusations against him. Ryder continued as part of her statement in defense of Depp's character, the idea that he's an incredibly violent person is the furthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. I cannot wrap my head around these accusations. Winona Ryder went on to say that Johnny was never violent or AB towards her or towards anybody she has seen. She also said that she'd always felt so very, very safe with him. Many could argue bias there, but why would she lie about a relationship that she had now almost 30 years ago? That would be carrying a torch for quite some time, wouldn't you say? Vanessa Paradis. And if that wasn't enough, we have Depp's other ex-wife in Vanessa Paradis, who had 2 kids with Depp and was the woman he left to be with her. So yeah, her testimony holds weight. I've known Johnny for more than 25 years. Through all these years, I've known Johnny to be a kind, attentive, generous, and non-violent person and father. Paradis also acknowledged her awareness, quote, of the allegations which Amber Heard has publicly accused Johnny of for more than 4 years now, but insisted that those accusations were inconsistent with quote, the true Johnny I have known. She had a lot of reasons to burn Johnny, but she didn't take that path. Instead, she talked about her experiences, and that means something when you add in Ryder and Cruz's testimony. A friend, a girlfriend, and a wife have never seen Depp be AB, so why was he suddenly AB with Heard? Quite the mystery. Javier Bardem. Another actor who's associated with Depp is that of Javier Bardem, who was yet another to support him and say how special he was. On top of that, I've had the gift of working with him twice and have experienced his respectful attitude towards every single member of the crew, alongside his unique and hilarious sense of humor. I stand by Johnny because I've always seen and felt a true caring and loving man in him, an extraordinary and unique artist who's listened to anyone who needed his help. Joe Rogan. Bet you weren't expecting this one. Rogan and guest Jessica Kirsten, a fellow comedian, opened Tuesday's episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, riffing on what we've seen so far as of Johnny's defamation trial against his ex-wife. From the way Rogan characterized it, he doesn't believe Heard's claims about AB at the hands of Depp or much of anything else. The Aquaman actress says, I'm watching this trial and it's a cautionary tale. Rogan said, beginning with a critique of their tempestuous relationship about believing in bull, forming a narrative in your head like we're rebels together. That's what I like about Anthony Bourdain and his relationship to that crazy woman. You're seeing all crazy come out. It's clear Rogan has been following the trial as he and Kirsten locked onto several details from the testimony so far, taking special delight in Depp's description of fecal delivery. He also made it clear that he doesn't believe Depp physically AB'd her. She said that she used this specific makeup to cover all her bruises that Johnny gave her, Rogan said, adding under his breath, which is not true. The problem, he continued, is it was a specific makeup and the company didn't even make that makeup at the time. She said she was using it to get things her way. But we'd like to hear from you on the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case going on right now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.